to the Geetar Mark channel. One of my subscribers asked me to do a riff breakdown of the AC/DC song Back in Black, so this is what we're going to do today. So when you're learning any material, it's best to break it down into manageable sections because one, it's easier to learn, and two, you can get annoyed with yourself if you can't play it. So this riff is broken down into certain sections. So what I've done at the bottom of the video is I've played it once in its entirety to start with, so you can keep referring back to that if you want to practice and play along. So I am playing in standard tuning, so it's from low to high, the low E, A, D, G, B, E. So I'm at concert pitch 440 Hz, so any tuner that you use to tune your guitar will be in tune with this video. So the constituent parts of the riff are as follows. So you've got the introduction, which is simply playing dead notes. So it's a way of setting tempo for the band. So if you're playing with a band, you also look at each other and one of you sets the tempo. So it might be a drummer on his sticks, or a guitarist who simply counts in, or whatever else, or a singer who goes 2, 3, 4. So here, if you've watched my One Direction video, Midnight Memories guitar tutorial, they start the song with exactly the same thing. So it's simply a case of laying your hands across the strings. So, and with your hand with the plectrum in, simply strike the strings. So you don't want any notes to ring, you don't want to press it too hard. Obviously that sounds appalling. It's simply a case of muting the strings as like a percussive effect, as I've explained. So that's sort of example one. So 2, 3, 4. Okay, so example 2 is going to be the chords. So the chords in this song are E5, D5 and A5. So if you've watched my introduction to power chords video, it explains what the 5 or the E5, A5, D5, the 5 means power chord. So what a power chord is, very briefly, is a major chord like E major, but without the third, the G sharp. So just take this finger off and don't play the whole thing, you simply play the low 3 strings. So I'll put some tab at the bottom just to show the entire riff. So it's E5, so it's the same rhythm all the time. You hit the E5 once, hit the G5 3 times, and your right hand is just going down, up, down. And then A5, same rhythm. So then move up to the A5. Okay, so once again, E5, up, down, up, up, down, up. Okay, so that is the chords, E5, D5 and A5. So then followed by the first set of chords is a little lead riff, which is, lead lick, which is based upon the E minor pentatonic scale. So those of you that know that, in first position, so that's the E minor pentatonic scale. Now you don't need to know this for the riff, but it's just helpful that you understand how it all fits together. So the riff itself is a sort of a descending riff. So if you start with your third finger on the 3rd fret on the low and the high E string, so it's incorporating fretted notes and open strings. So I'll put some tab at the bottom so if you can follow that as I'm playing. So it's 3, open, move up to the B string, 3, open, and then you're holding down the A, bending it, up to the B, down and release. again, it's 3, open, move to the B, 3, open, bend and release, and then pull off, and then you'll sound the open G. So, one thing to mention about the bend, if you've never bent a string before, bending a string is simply playing the higher pitch. So you're on the A note here, and instead of playing the B note here, you bend up to it, because if you bend, it always goes up. Instead of playing... So, if you're unsure of how far to bend it, play the note a tone up. I mean, sometimes you can bend a semitone up, but in this case he bends a tone up. So you want to bend and then listen out. That's not it, not it. That's it. So then bend, down and release. So it might take a little bit. This bit is more straightforward. Now, the bend itself, to get the technique right, it's your thumb, if you rest it on the guitar here, which gives you some strength, and you can also use any finger before the bending finger, i.e. in this case the second finger, which is one of your stronger fingers. Use this index finger as a sort of a reinforced bend. So instead of going and using without your thumb and without, you can do it, but you know it hurts your fingers. So you may as well try and give yourself as much chance as any by using your thumb strength, your index finger strength, and it gives you more control, and it just makes the bend sound a lot more kind of fluid, and gives you a chance to, if you need to, put vibrato on it, which will come later on. But it's best to get your technique right at this stage. So we sort of spent a little bit of time on that, so let's just go and recap briefly. The riff itself is just up to speed. I'll play it right this time. So, the second part is the same chords again, but this time, instead of finishing on that, you finish on a different riff. So we'll up to speed. So it's sort of like a blues turnaround kind of thing, because a lot of AC/DC's music is sort of bluesy stuff, which they've sped up, so sort of rock and roll, Chuck Berry kind of influence stuff. So the same chords again, same rhythm, down, up, down, down, up, down, and then this B note is played on the second fret of the A string with your index finger, and then the rest of it is played on your low E string. So you're going 4, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7. Now, I play this with a combination on the E string, a combination of my third and my fourth finger. So now that's maybe a fairly long stretch for people, but again, I prefer to get my technique like this, because the reason is, if you finish here on your index finger, on your little finger, the next note coming, or the next chord coming, is your E again, because you're back into that again. So instead of going, so you're all up here now, you've got to go back down here. So to make it easy for yourself to make the riff more fluid, you want to have your index finger as close to the next chord as possible. So okay, so again, just from the top, if you want to play along with the whole thing, hopefully you've learnt it all now, you've gone and you've done it in sections. So okay, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now one thing just to mention is a little added bit I put in there just for me when I'm playing on my own is with the first riff, it doesn't fly straight into the riff. There's a gap of 2 beats, so you can either tap your foot or just think 2 in your head. 1, 2. Okay, so that's AC/DC Back in Black. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you.